you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
Good afternoon or good evening. Welcome to an Ahad Moment, the calm before the storm. I'm Fakir Abdulaziz, coming to you, and along with me is my brother Adam Hanif Salim, and our special panelists, Lord Holy Apostle Dean Salim, Holy Queen Mother Rabbi Salim. May I use this peace and other blessings be within and about your presences. To our guests in our audience today, may I use this peace and other blessings be within and about your presence, as well as that to our television audience. And to our television audience, we first want to give an apology to you for some technical difficulties that we've had with our sound coming out to you. It's a matter that we are really working on, because we know how important it is to bring this message, quality message to you. Thank you. Right. This very quality message to you. Get out there for this tremendous word. Yeah. Tremendous words that's being sent. We want to especially give thanks to the individuals that sent the emails alerting us and letting us know about the audio quality, making us aware so that we can get about taking care of this matter as quickly as we possibly can. And to all of you in the television audience, along with you, may I use this peace and other blessings be within and about your presences.
Yes. You know, it had come to my attention that it's been quite a while since we've been having this problem, off and on.
Yes.
And because I don't view the shows myself, you know, I wasn't able to catch them. But from time to time, I do catch a piece of them. And it seemed as though each time I caught a piece, there was a problem. But then we've had people who are in our organization that was privileged to be able to see the shows, but because they were in the audience, they didn't find it necessary to go and view the shows on, on TV. And so therefore we missed a lot. And I believe it hurt us, because people are very interested in what we're talking about. And if you don't have a love for Aiza enough to lay yourself down, sacrifice yourself to make sure that what you bring in is quality, then, there's a problem. And that's something that some technical people did not do. They did not show an interest or love for Aiza enough to make sure things, the trust that we put in their hands came through into the world. Now, we had one particular individual out of a number of individuals, but we had one individual in particular who sent us some emails, 3 as a matter of fact, and telling us about the audio problem. And evidently he's very impatient, because on his 3rd email, he was kind of curt and nasty, in his remarks. And he went so far as to saying, and I hope that he's viewing this show, because he refused to give us his name or address or whatever, because I'd love to, take you on with some personal training. But he went so far as to say that we should get off the air because we are embarrassing Islam, and that because of our lack of professionalism. Even though we thanked him and told him we was trying to work on the matter, and I was very appreciative that someone finally came through to tell us. But it seems as though he came through to get some self-importance, because once we gave him the recognition, now he wants to tell us we need to get off the show, get off the air, and let someone else take our place, our spot, to call the people to Islam. Now, all of you who have been diligent listeners, in our audience, our television audience, I hope that you have been listening very carefully, because Evidently, this individual have not. In all the years we've been on the show, I haven't called one person to Islam. Not one. This show is not about calling people to Islam. Not the Islam that you people have slammed. His slam, her slam, your slam. We don't call people to that. We call people to the truth, to the covenant, to that which Aiza has sent down from heaven and for you through me. That which Aiza direct me in. And Aiza, if you don't know, is Allah. That's his new name. And we don't call people to that which people have transformed about what Muhammad brought. So get it right, my brother. And I was going to tell you that I would take your advice and do cancel the show from you. Maybe your TV would break and you wouldn't turn us on anymore. But I'm not going to go there. If you can understand what I'm saying and you can appreciate what we're talking about, be at peace. Because, and that's another thing. He said peace and then he started telling us off. You should use Allah's name not in vain, because peace is one of Allah's names. You should not use it in vain. You should never say peace and then go to war. Yeah. So with that,
Well, with that very subject we've talked many times. You told us many times about the universality of the religion, that all the faiths has come down, right. And many have talked about the Quran. We recently had a show when we were talking about protecting the Quran.
Right.
Protecting the Quran. And I remember being struck when you described the Quran as having, it is the Torah. Mm-hmm. It is the gospel. Yeah,
it's the truth. It's the holy scripture that the Lord has been sending down for many, for eons of time, for the various species of humanity. See, we are called mankind because we're so many kinds of minds of man. You understand? That the scientists claim that they found 21 species of mankind. That means 21 different kinds of mankind. You understand? Man's means mind. The Lord El is the mind of the infinite mind of the creation. It is the mind of everything. It minds the throne. That's why they say it mans the throne. It minds the throne of sovereignty. It's the supreme being of mind. And the world of creation is created by its mentality. See, we are all of the mentality of its creation. You see? The world is mental. Now, is that calling people to Islam 5 times a day of prayer as this man was involved? No, I'm calling you to truth. And Aiza is giving me a message to call all the people. So don't get it twisted to think I'm just calling people who call themselves Muslims. I'm calling people who call themselves Hindus, Buddhists, Taoists, Jains, Zoroastrians, Jews, or whatever. Because all of them, every religion on earth except this one, that Allah is sending down in his new covenant, and the reason Aiza El Allah Amen is sending it down is because they have all become what so many narrow-minded people call us, a cult. They have all become cults. Religions broken off from the main body of truth. They all have done that. With your Christianity, your Judaism, and your Hadithism, all your isms is broken off from the truth. So they are all cults. So when you start thinking about calling somebody a cult to insult them, think about your own religion and look in the dictionary and find out what cult means. You see? Because Jesus did not know anything about Christianity. Moses knew nothing about Judaism. Muhammad knew nothing about Hadithism. And you could go all the way down the line, and all the prophets of old did not know anything about what them people behind them did after they brought the Lord's message down to earth to them. It's going to be the same thing with what we bring now. We're cursed today. I'm called deluded for 30 years. And now finally people are looking into what I'm saying because they've been trying to take my head off for all these years, but they can't because they keep finding out I'm telling the truth. Now you got scientists and other people running around here stealing the book from the Library of Congress, getting information out of there and putting it out so that when you hear this from me, you'll think, oh, he must have got that from him. I heard this from here. Well, let me tell you something. First of all, this word I'm giving you is not a new word. It's the oldest word that there is. It's just in a new language. What's the new language? First time it's come down in English. First time it has ever come down in English. So you will have people speaking other languages trying to translate it into their language and not translating Hebrew and Sanskrit and all the other languages into English. Allah has done what the Muslims said could not be done. It has sent the Quran down, the Torah down, the Book of the Dead. It sent the hieroglyphics of Egypt, sent them all down in this language, in the book that is given me. You see, same truth, same laws, just different orders. You know? So we are the cultless. Cults will be broken off from this. Allah, in the name of Aiza, is manifesting His mercy again to humanity and sending His word down again so that the people can get on board before it destroys this world. And we've been talking about this world being destroyed since the 90s. Different things that has come to pass in prophecy that has been spoken through my mouth that you would not believe that even came from me. Because your government and other people in power made sure that you could not hear me. And they've been known about me.
Well, you talk about ancient books.
Yes,
the ancient
truths. Ancient truths that Allah sent down from throne. When Allah said in the Holy Quran that is the book, there is no doubt in it. It was talking about a book that had came down before the Holy Quran. It was talking about the Torah. It was also talking about the perfect book is beneath the throne in heaven. That's the perfect book. See, all that we get of the books, it comes from the perfect book. They're leaves of the book, branches of the book. The perfect book, it's not just in the parts that it's sent down. No man on earth or in any world can handle the complete book of the infinite mind. That's handling something infinite, something eternal. And only the one can handle that. No angel can contain the infinite book. They're not infinite. Only the one L can contain the perfect book in whole. You know?
As far as people not believing in the message for today and calling us a cult, like, they gotta understand, like I try to explain this to people that I tell about, you know, the word for today and the prophet for today. They say that, you know, they don't believe, they'll believe, somebody even told me that they'll believe it when you die and it becomes a major religion. Then they'll believe that this is truly the message for today. And I was young, and it really made me angry, almost to the point. It was a family member, in fact. I almost ready to go top on his head. But I try to explain to him, like, it's always been like that, and all through history, it's been a small group of people that followed the messenger when the majority of people didn't believe. Right. And it's like that today. Right. And why won't you believe? Like, he's trying to call me away from what I believe, and I'm like, what are you trying to call me to? He's a so-called Muslim, but he in the streets and doing all kinds of other things he shouldn't be doing. Like, what are you really trying to call me away from this for, to do what? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to help you come to here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you trying to better him, and he trying to take you back. You know, but it's the same thing, like you said, the prophets. How many people believed in Jesus? Not even all his students didn't believe in him. Right. And none of them truly, completely believed, because they didn't run and try to put themselves on the cross to sacrifice themselves in place of him. They wasn't even at the level of Ali with Muhammad. Ali said, let me lay in your bed so you could get away. They'll think I'm you. Now, Ali laid in the bed to get killed, slain for his prophet, but what did the 12 disciples do? One of them supposedly turned coat. Could have been more than one that turned coat. The other ones could have knew that he was going to turn coat. And Jesus released them, said, hey, I know what's up with y'all. Don't associate yourself with me. Just go on. Why? Because he knew their lack of faith, their lack of strength, their fear of men. Okay? The other thing, Jesus wasn't even a major prophet. They shunned John. John baptized Jesus. He was a forerunner of Jesus with the word. And he had a large following where Jesus had small following. Why would the Lord bring two prophets into one town? And when it says clearly in its scriptures, no man could be the servant of two masters. And John and Jesus was masters by the word of the Lord, by the essence and the mind of the Lord that they had within themselves. No, Jesus was a Messiah. He was supposed to go find the people who had broke camp, had broke the ranks, and went away. That was what he was supposed to be doing as a messenger of Allah. And he did call Allah Allah. Allah. They did call him Allah. And you can find it in the Bible where they translated it by mistake, because if they knew that I would have come with this, they wouldn't even put that in there. Allah. They got angry as hell with Mel Gibson because he put it in this movie, about Jesus calling Allah Allah. And we explain, El is Al in Arabic. Ah is of the divine breath that is breathed into creation for all things to live. And El is the breath, the divine breath, the eternal breath, the infinite breath, the breath of life. That's Allah. Allah, the same thing. Al-Ah. That's what Allah is. The Arabs know it, but they hide it. Why? To deceive the people, to break away from, to have their cult, break away from what Moses people brought, or what Moses brought. Because Israel did believe in what Moses brought. Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, Hebrews also.
Excuse me. Moses did believe in what Israel brought, even though Israel didn't have a book. And he believed in what Joseph brought, even though Joseph didn't have a book. And when he came to get the tribes of Israel, they had fallen. They had fallen to that shyster son, the son that tried to kill Joseph. They had Joseph killed, Judah. So the people had fallen and they were punished for it. But when he brought the Torah, it was what Enoch and what Akhenaten and people like that had brought. People that believed in Amen Ra. They brought what Moses brought long before Moses. But it had become a cult. Right. Broken off from the religion. So Allah sent another message. Every time things get so large, the cult gets so large, Allah either sends a messenger. Say, I'm going to give you another chance. Here's my word. A covenanted messenger. One who comes with a covenant, an agreement from the Lord. If the Lord don't give us agreements, give mankind agreements, it's going to destroy us. Turn us like, into some wild animals, if not just take us off the face of the planet Earth.
And the Lord and one of the things that Allah did, it kept around one of the biggest cult that I see is the Catholic.
Oh, yeah.
The Catholic Church.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big cult. I mean, the Pope actually said, because Allah spoke about them in Revelation.
Yeah.
And then Allah also broke it down to them in Malachi about Elijah coming, turning the son's heart back to the father and the father's hearts back to the son. Yeah. But it clearly brought down to the people that would believe about the Pope and the golden goblets, the devils of this Catholic religion.
Yeah.
Now, they go and follow these groups and call them cult And some of them is out of their mind and the things they do.
You do have some cults. You have perverts.
But you have them ignoring the biggest cult there
is, and that's Catholicism.
I mean, the Pope said the other day on TV, live, national TV, that he is aware of the molestation that goes on in the church, and that is wrong, but he will not force the priest to turn on the bishop or the bishop to tell on the priest about the activities. He will not put that in place as law. So what is he saying to you, all you people that want to kiss his ring and be at his feet? He's saying, I accept, and it's okay that child molestation goes on in this religion.
Yeah.
Because there's no prosecution that should take place in regards to this. There's no punishment. Because I'm not going to force a law that will make things right. I'm not going to force a law to protect these small children that's getting their virginity stolen by a man that say he's of the Lord. So what do he believe? Then in turn, the Muslims who are always beating on their back talking about Allah is great, turn around and do the same exact thing that the Catholic Church do. They know that they have a molestation. They talking about, we're going to keep it from the kafir. We're going to deal with it in-house. Then they turn around and take the rapist and put him somewhere for a little while and then send him back to the home so he can continue doing what he's doing. Yeah. And then they look and they take the stuff off of them. They say, look, this is a cult. This is a cult. How many people know that them sisters that be all covered up be butt naked? Butt naked underneath them clothes.
Yeah, ready to go.
How many people know that? How many people know that some of them veil themselves and go out there and steal? You understand what I'm saying? But they'll point and say, come. But they're not looking deep into what's going on in their own religion. They was one man said, go home and beat your wife until she's in submission to you, not a law. You understand what I'm saying? So people need to be real careful. Then you got these Sunday Christians who create habit all week long. Talk about the girlfriend, talk about the man, talk about their sex life, talk about their sex parties, and all kinds of things. Go to church on Sunday, then want to get on the phone on Sunday and think it's something wrong with you. Because somehow they think that they don't went to church on Sunday, get their little 10% and wash themselves away.
Ablution is, what is it? Ablution.
Now, what I'm saying is that,
what is it? Because I ain't a Christian, I don't know. What is it? Purified, forgiven, whatever. But ablution, I know, is cleaning yourself. But yeah, go ahead.
But let me just put this here. Because sometimes you got to bring things close to home, too, so people really get a good picture. There's people that the Lord has put in our camp that are doers of evil.
Yeah.
They're devils. They are doers of evil.
Yep.
They are doers of evil.
And they hang out with doers of evil.
But Allah put them here for a reason. Allah has given us a message of prophet. And Allah has perfected this message of prophet to serve it, not to serve mankind. So if you look at him and you see a flaw, that's because this message has not been sent here to serve mankind. He's been here to serve Allah. You know, and people get it all twisted in the game, and they look at someone that Allah sent for them to step their feet on. No, that's not the purpose of the message of prophet. It's for him to convey the message to you so that you may be warned and so that you may be saved. But if you choose not to, my whole thing is you wait a while. Allah say that in Quran. To you be your way and to me be my way. You just wait. And we'll see in the end who was right. You ain't got to go out there and try to dog somebody out. Right. I don't care about dogging you out. You do your thing. We do our thing, and the Lord be the judge between us. If you so believe in what you get at your Catholic and Christian and masjid when you go for service, Because they read from the book.
They read from the same books, yeah. And then they try to say that it's a shame that many Muslims never looked into the Bible collection and many Christians never look into the Quran, because if they would go ahead and open themselves up to truth and look in the books, they'll find that they're the same. You know, the message is the same. But see, Christians go to church and their ministers tell them, if you read any other book, you're the devil. And then they go and cut and paste. They cut and paste something from the Armenians to something from the Hebrews to something from the, Chaldeans, Chaldeans. And then they put it together and say, well, this is what it's saying. You know, how I'm going to take a piece of a sentence from 1979, a piece of my sentence from 1989, and a piece of my sentence from 1999, put it together and make one sentence and say, this is what the Lord said. You know? When they do that with film, they say they cut and paste, and if they take it to the court of law, they're breaking the law because they're doing something illegal, something wrong. It is the same thing when they say, well, go to Corinthians, this, that, and the other, and then go to Joshua, this, that, and the other, and then go to Samuel, this, that, and the other, and put this thing together as one expression. They doing wrong, they doing evil every time they do that in the church. You know? And then for them to say that, to allow the Catholicists, because they're the main ones, to allow the Catholicists to call Jesus Christ. Huh? And then they support that. And then say Jesus is coming back. And this time when Allah said Christ is coming back, that's a shame, despicable, and pathetic. For them to say that and say they believe, because we know that the Catholicists were sun worshipers before they got the word of Jesus and John and Moses. They were sun worshipers in Rome and what have you. You know? And the thing about it is that they know that when Jesus and John spoke about the Christ, they were speaking about the same thing Salafah Gautama was talking about. The pure light of enlightenment. Huh? The light of truth. That's what the Christ is. But it's not just the light for you brothers who want to say that angels is only created of light. It's the fire. The Christ have two ends to it too. It's the light and the fire. And the Christ is the fire of hell, just as it is the crusher in heaven. And the crusher is the one that's returning this day to crush this world. Christ, not Jesus. We got to go for that half an hour, brother.
And we'll do that to our Brooklyn audience. And we'll invite our Brooklyners to tune in again with our next show here, continuation of this very, very enlightening piece. Man, Jesus, peace and blessings about the Brooklyners, man.
Who of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right. Who of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hearer of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
Good afternoon or good evening. Welcome to an Ahad Moment, the calm before the storm. I'm Fakir Abdulaziz, coming to you, and along with me is my brother Adam Hanif Salim and our special panelists.